All right, so for problem number 4, I don't like that color. For question number 4, well, that's not a 4. There we go. That's a little better. I'm asked to take the square root of 128 k to the third power. So remember that whenever there's nothing there, that's the same as, we'll put stuff underneath here. That's the same as the second root of stuff. So what we like to do is find things that when we square it, in other words, we want to reduce and pull things out. So 128, so we got to think, well, 2 squared is 4, 3, and you'll want to write this down in your notes because it'll be helpful. 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, 7 squared equals 49, 8 squared equals 64, and so 64 times 2 equals 128. And you know, like, if you keep going, 11 squared equals 121, 12 squared equals 144. So this is the best we're going to get. So then I'm going to separate these into factors where they're squares. In other words, I'm going to think this is going to be 64 times the square root of 2 times the square root. Also remember that k cubed is the same as k squared times k to the first power. So I'm going to put k squared times k to the first. And then remember that the square root of 64, in other words, 64 is the same as 8 squared, right? So then what I can do is, if I can take the square root of something, well, let me write it this way. I'll say 8 squared squared root 2. So remember that, because deep down we don't write it down, but we should always remember that we're taking the second root of all these items. What happens is that this root will cancel with this square, this root will cancel with this square, but this is 2 to the first power and this is k to the first power. So this just becomes 8, this just becomes k, and then everything else, we can't simplify it, we just leave it alone. So this is like root 2 square root k. And then we combine like terms. Anything that's a square root we can put together, and anything that's been taken out of the square root we can put together. So the final answer is 8k square root 2k. Okay. Now that's a tough one because you can't do it in your calculator. You're going to have to know the properties of square roots. So make sure you write all this down. All right?